Hey College and Career Success, welcome back, depending on what order you're watching these videos in, to week 1. So just a quick little reminder, I encourage you to watch that welcome video that really walks you through the course. And then in our lessons area, week 1 videos, I do have a lecture video for the week. It's based on just kind of a real quick snapshot of, hey, here are some things that are going to be helpful as you get started. So this video right now is going to be the week 1 assignment video. This is going to walk you through what you have to do to complete this week and to make sure that you're on the right track and you know how to complete everything that's expected of students for this first week of the semester. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the week 1 folder, although I encourage you to definitely look at all of these videos. Make sure that you're spending time so that if you have questions, you can address them here first. Normally I do cover them, but if something still seems unclear, you can always reach out via email. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click into week 1. I'm going to click again, and this is always going to give me a snapshot. So all your weeks are going to be set up the same way. So you'll see here you have a discussion board this week. So you have to post by Wednesday for weekly attendance and respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. I will walk you through that process. And then the other 3 assignments, Title IX quiz, digital scavenger hunt, and handshake assignment are all due Sunday as well. And so it even kind of reiterates that. It always tells you what's coming up next. So you know, like next week, we're going to be in chapter 1. So where do you go for all of this? The first thing I want to direct you to is the materials folder, because that does have some information in here that could be beneficial to you as you get ready to start on your week. There's a lot of links in here. Some of this you might spend some time with. Some of it you may just kind of click around and you may or may not need a ton. But I'm going to go ahead and jump right to the week 1 assignments for now, and then I'll revisit this as needed. All right, so the first thing that I would recommend you completing each week is your discussion forum. So most weeks will have a discussion forum that you have to post on Wednesday to get your attendance by. So I tell students, ideally in an online class, you're logging in on Monday morning and you're getting kind of like, okay, here's what's coming up for this week. This is what I need to do, kind of coming up with a plan. Because if you wait until like Friday to log in, you've already missed your attendance checkpoint. You've missed, those opportunities there. So log in early, and then you need to post by Wednesday for attendance. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. So all of your discussion boards will have like these little, I call them like chat boxes type thing, like the little message boxes. Introduction form, you'll click go to discussion, and it's going to take you to the prompt. And here's the prompt. Introduce yourself. Share at least 3 things about yourself. And here are the 3 things you're sharing. A time when you were proud of an accomplishment, an interest or a hobby, and at least 1 goal. So those are the 3 things. And if you recall from the syllabus, from my welcome video, and all of those, different resources, your original post for the discussion forum needs to be 150 words or more. Now, I'm really lenient the first couple weeks because I know you're still kind of dipping your toes in. You're getting used to everything for all your classes. So if you're under that, as long as it's not significant, I won't take off points. So if you're coming in at like 135, 140, no big deal. It's when students are still several weeks into the semester and they're sitting at like 75 words, 80 words. That's when you're going to have points taken off. But even like 6 weeks from now, if you're like at 148, I'm not going to nitpick. But the reason there's a word limit is because you will take classes here at the college or another institution, depending on if you're transferring, that you have a word minimum or maybe a page minimum. So you just need to make sure that you are being mindful of that. You can certainly go over 150 words. I'm not going to take off points if you go over. So again, this is what you're doing. Introducing yourself. Hey, my name is Linda. I am going to Stark State to work on my education degree. I have 3 kids, little bio, if you will. And then share 3 things about yourself. A time when you were proud of an accomplishment. I was proud when I graduated high school, or my interests are reading, and 1 goal. I have a goal of getting an A, whatever that might look like for you. How you actually go about posting is you're going to click on the name of the forum. It's going to take you inside the forum. It's going to have the prompt there again, and you're just going to hit start a new thread because you're not going to see anyone else's posts until you post your original prompt. So start a new thread. You'll put the subject, so I'm just going to put like week 1. You can put it however you want. And then here's your post. And then you'll go from there. And what's nice is down here, counts your words. So I know sometimes people like to type it in Microsoft Word and then copy it over. That's fine also, but it is nice that Brightspace does a word count for us. So right in the corner there. One thing I would not recommend doing is typing in Word and like putting it in as a file. That makes it a little bit more tricky for people to actually view your prompt. I know it's just like a couple extra clicks, but I've noticed that students tend to not open files in discussion boards. So I would recommend commenting your post right here. All right, so after you post, you've got everything done, you would just hit post, and eventually you would go back in and, maybe a day later or that evening, whenever, and you're going to go into the same discussion board, and then you should see by then all the other posts that have been made, and you will just click on the name of that person's post. You'll go in and you'll hit reply. So let's see if this lets me post. There we go. So here's my post. So let's say I posted Tuesday. Not a lot of people have posted yet because attendance isn't due till Wednesday. I go back in on Wednesday and I have a few to choose from. I'll click on the name of their forum post, week 1. Obviously there's not a lot in there. So I'll hit reply. And then I'll go ahead and hit my response and I'll hit post there. So that's how you go about responding to classmates. Because remember, you are posting your original response. Sorry, clicked the wrong thing. You're posting your original response by Wednesday, but then you still need to respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. Okay, so I also want to make sure that you are aware that, let's say you forgot to post and it's Friday morning, you can still post and you can get late points because you're getting graded on your discussion forums 2 times. First, for attendance purposes, so did you post on time or not? And then second, for did you respond to the prompt? Because every once in a while I have students who I have no idea what they're talking about, or they haven't answered all the questions, or they haven't really thoroughly responded, so they don't get all their points that way. So you are getting graded twice. So even if you post late, you can still get partial attendance, and you can still earn full points for the actual work that you did inside the forum. So that's the first thing you're doing this week, is posting your original response to the discussion forum and then responding to classmates. Original response by Wednesday, 2 classmates by Sunday. All right, the next thing we're going to do is called the Title IX training. And so here's where I would recommend going back up into the materials folder, finding the Title IX slideshow. You could even just kind of have it, like I'm going to download it and maybe just have it in a different tab. So it's there, but it's not like in the way. Because your assignment is to take like a little quiz over Title IX. So I am totally fine with you having the PowerPoint like right next to it, going through it, and then maybe coming back to it to help you answer questions. You'll just navigate through it here.
This presentation is...
And it's going to talk to you, and eventually it's going
What is Title IX?
There we go. Take you to a series of questions. This is an assignment that Brightspace automatically grades. That means that I just simply go in and I look at my gradebook and be like, oh yes, this person got it done. And I record their grade in my hard copy gradebook because that's how I also double check everything. So I would recommend once you're done with this, make sure you submit on the very last slide. Give it about anywhere from half an hour to an hour. Sometimes there's like a little lag, and then you should see your score in there. So that's the Title IX training, and you can certainly use this PowerPoint to help you with those answers. The next assignment, also due Sunday, so all of the rest of these are due Sunday, is your college resources digital scavenger hunt, which this is also another automatically graded assignment inside Brightspace. So you'll just simply hit play.
Stark State College offers some excellent... These resources are easy. Let's do a digital scavenger. Use the website to find out.
So you're going to eventually get to a series of questions that's going to ask you about resources here on our campus. And so to help you with this, I would just recommend going, to the homepage, info for current students. And here is where you're going to find a lot of those type of answers. Like academic support. So I'm kind of like helping you out a little bit here because the first question talked to you about like the testing center. So you'll kind of scroll. Oh, there it is. So there's a testing center. So you can go in here. There's also a search that you could use to kind of help you find if you're like, oh, it's asking me where this is, but I can't find it on this page. So you'll go through and you can use the home page. You can also certainly search around. That is my own schedule there. You can certainly search around. I could say I have way too much going on inside my SSC to be able to. So you can go up here, my SSC, and you can search inside here as well to try to find different resources. So that is the College Resources Digital Scavenger Hunt. And again, that is due by Sunday and it's automatically graded by Brightspace. All right, the final assignment you have for this week is called the Handshake Job Assignment. This is not automatically graded. I grade this one. It's a manual thing. You have to log into Handshake, create an assignment, create an account, and then you can complete this assignment. So it walks you through like how to do this. If you're like, I have no idea what that is, I've never heard of this before, back up here in the materials folder, there's a whole folder just for Handshake. So Handshake information. Career Services does have a video in here, an overview. I will say they recorded this about 1.5 years ago and the website has already changed since then, but the general gist of the information is the same. Hopefully they're going to be getting us an updated video, but for now the information is still pretty on topic, on track. It's just the website is formatted differently. Here is the Handshake link. So to create an account, you would go Handshake, open link. I'm already in here, so let's just say like it brings me to the home page. So I would go ahead and I would sign up, log in or sign up, and I would go ahead and put my email address in here, and it's going to take me to kind of a process to help me get all registered. It does have a Handshake step-by-step here. So if you're like, I really don't know how to do it, it does walk you through it right here. So you can set up an account, set up all your information, or you can just keep it very general and just be like, you know what, I just want an account right now for this class. I'm not really interested in kind of uploading resumes or looking at jobs, and that's okay too. But once you're in Handshake, go back to mine, you are going to try to find a job that has something to do with the field that you're interested in. Now, depending on where you are in your educational journey, if you're a CCP student or if you're a more traditional college student, you may or may not have a major declared. So just think of it as like a very loosely, what are you interested in? So I'm just going to put in like education, and it's going to kick me out because I didn't there. Sorry about that. So let's go ahead and get back in there. And we'll try this again. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and get to jobs. And I'm going to go ahead and tell it like, hey, I want a job in education. And it should pull up anything that's kind of, connected, just like any other like job site or search. It may not always get like, oh, this has nothing to do, or I'm not interested in that at all. That's okay, because for this assignment, you're literally just finding something that is kind of connected to what you want to look into. So let's say, okay, childcare teacher. Here's this. What I'm doing for my assignment part of this, let me scroll back down to where it says Handshake Job Assignment. You are going to do one of two things. You're either going to just copy and paste the link into your comment area. So down below, you have a little bit more, you have an option to Dropbox a file, or you can text submission. I don't have that since I'm an instructor. But if you're not sure how to do that, I do have a Dropbox video that walks you through just that process right here, Dropbox video. So if you're like, I don't know how to turn assignments in, you can look at that. That's only like 1:45 seconds. So that's one option, is you can just literally take the link that you found, like, all right, here's my link. I could also like do it this way, copy link. And then I can come back into my assignment. Close out of there. I can come back into my assignment and paste that. Or option 2 is to take a screenshot. So if I'm in there and I just wanted to do like a screenshot, I just use snipping tool all the time. It's just a little easier for me. I don't know why. I would just do, and I know that little drop down's right there, no big deal. I would do a snip or a screenshot, and I would save that to my desktop somewhere. I would probably name it something a little different than screenshot, and then I would upload that file. So you're doing one of those two things. You're either copying and pasting the link, or you're taking a screenshot, and that's how you submit that assignment. So the point of this is you will be using Handshake here at the college. You're going to have to use it for your student services assignment as well, which I will have a whole separate video focused just on that. So make sure you check that out, because I'm getting ready to record that video next. You're going to have to use Handshake for that, and then you may end up using it for other courses and things as well. So it's good that you're getting early exposure. All right, this assignment video is a little longer than my normal assignment videos will be. Typically, my assignment videos are going to be under 10 minutes because I want to make sure they're quick, but the first one usually takes a little longer because I try to be really thorough and detailed. So last summary, This week, you are posting your original response to the chapter 1 introduction chapter discussion by Wednesday for weekly attendance. Respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. Remember that 150 words and respond to the actual prompt. It's an introduction, and then you're sharing 3 things. Then you're completing the Title IX quiz, the digital scavenger hunt, and the handshake assignment all by Sunday as well. If you have any questions or need anything, please feel free to reach out and have a great week 1.